Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Automotive Carnage. In today's episode I have no idea what we're going to do this episode. Let's figure it out after the intro. So it's like this. I'm very fortunate to have about 9 different project cars. The only problem with having about 9 different project cars is you have no idea which car to work on next or what has to be done. So my shed is full of various different bits and pieces and parts for cars that I'm currently working on, cars I have worked on, and cars I don't even own or have never owned. I just have parts for them for some reason. And so I want to get a video out by Saturday. Hopefully the day you're watching this is Saturday if I achieve my goal. I've only got a few hours each day leading up to that, today being Monday, to make a video. So pretty much I'm going to run through the vehicles and hopefully we'll get some work done. We might get a little bit done on the Crusader, we might get some on the Sylvia, some other I don't know. As I say, I've only got a couple of hours each day, so let's just see what happens, pretty much. Let's start with the Crusader. Alright, so this is my pride and joy at the moment. I absolutely love building this thing. For those of you who don't know, which hopefully you all know by now, this is a 1979 Toyota Crusader that I found in the bush, and I'm currently putting a 5.4 litre Ford V8 in there out of a BA Fairmont, and that's going to be my new bush car. So I'm building a bush car from parts found in the bush. I can't go out and buy brand new stuff unless it has to do with the fuel system or the brake system. Now the fuel system's all done, that's ready to go. Oh, speaking of which, I better show you guys, because I got a lot of comments on this when I first did the video. We have a proper fuel filter in there now. So that's an EFI compatible one that will handle the pressure, and that came off a an R32 Skyline GT ST. So of course it's brand new, it didn't actually come off the car, I got it from super cheap. So yeah, this one we could change the seats. I've got some racing seats that could go in here that I found in the bush. We could change over the accelerator pedal because we need to take the one out of the Fairmont to run the engine and the computer and all that kind of wiring, so we could do that. We could clean up this mess. That's the factory wiring loom off the 5.4. It's got all the headlights and stuff in there which we need to chop out, so we could do that. And then you got the Sylvia. The Sylvia S13 is my dream car. I've wanted one of these for so long, and now I've actually got one, and it's on axle stands just like every other Sylvia around. Bloody pain in the butt this vehicle is. So I found this in the barn 120 k's away in the next town, traded a fully road registered legal working car for it, and this thing was in bits and pieces when I first got it. I've since done a whole bunch of work to it. I have painted it, and I still need to do a whole bunch of work on it to get it legal. So I've got the immobilizer that I need to fit in there. I'm still waiting for new top hats for the front suspension to show up, so that's why it's sitting on an axle stand, waiting for those parts to arrive. So we've got to rebuild suspension, can't do that today. So yeah, pretty much all we can do on that is install the immobilizer. I don't know if I feel like doing that. And then we come out here. What have we got out here? You've got my absolute nugget of a daily driver, which is my 1998 Toyota Camry. I picked this thing up for 500 bucks. Had a few too many beverages one night and then brought about $2,000 worth of gear from Japan for it. Yeah, so it has a Japanese spec interior, which when you actually look at it, doesn't look all that different. Oh my gosh, it's just got a bit of wood grain around there now, in places that factory Australian Camrys never got, so that's kind of cool. Factory 5-speed manual CSX trim, so actually quite a rare vehicle, but it looks like a piece of crap. It's missing a bunch of trim there, which there's a really cool story with that actually coming, but these doors are not from this car. This car's been involved in some sort of accident that's hit the side, and then someone swapped out the doors, because obviously they're cheap parts, but then they've just replaced them with manual window doors, not power window doors. So on one side of the car, when I first got it, I had power windows over there, but I didn't have power windows on this side. So I've had to get hold of Graham from XA Coupe Guy, who we sent the EH front plenum cut to, and he lives right next to a wreckers. So he went to the wreckers, found the trim that I need to go into there. He also found the looms I need to make the power windows work on this side. I've already got the regulators in the shed, so we could do that too, because it'll be nice to have power windows all around on this car as it's a daily driver, so that would be kind of cool. We could do that. But that's only 3 of the 9 or so vehicles that we have to work on. So let's go now to the other storage yard where the Tirana is, a Camaro is, a Navara is, the BA Fairmont is, and we'll go see what we can do tonight. Okay, so let's have a look in this yard. Now, first thing you'll notice here is we have a Nissan Navara and a Holden Camaro. So the Navara first. This piece of crap is annoying the hell out of me. Pretty much it's going to be stripped down for parts. It's the 2.5 litre YD25, which, as most people know, is the worst diesel engine that Nissan ever made. So the person who currently owns it has asked me strip it down for all its bits and pieces and sell off what we can. So if you are interested in any parts from a D40 Navara, it is the automatic transmission, as I said, 2.4 litre turbo diesel, potentially got a cracked head, but it still runs and drives when it's got a battery in it, just not for very long because obviously it overheats. But yes, if there's any parts you need, hit me up, preferably on the Facebook, the Automotive Carnage Facebook page, so we can private message, or Instagram. It's got some really cool goodies on there, as you can see. So if there's anything you see there, let me know. This beast, oh, I have wanted one of these cars for so long. I'm so glad I've got one. Found this down the back of an industrial lot in town here, and it's been sitting there for many years, and now it's sitting here for many years, and sitting on my blooming SSRs as well, which is not too good for the nice new tyres. Well, they were new tyres on it. Now they're just sitting here abandoned. Had a good friend, Adrian, come up. He is like the guru of anything Camaro. He's absolutely a world of knowledge. It's amazing. He's given me a lot of help to get the engine to the state it's currently in. We have unseized it. If I could open it, I will show you. New Dizzy cap, new rotor, new leads, new spark plugs, new coil pack. Alternator he sourced from one of his vehicles, an ignition barrel which I had to chop off to get the car to move. He replaced that with one of his vehicles as well, and we've almost got this thing running. I don't have much footage of that because he's very camera shy and he just gets shit done. He got this car to this point very, very quickly. I was very impressed, so, and very thankful as well. But we've got no spark, so under the coil there you can see an ignition module. I have a new one of those that needs to go in it, and that should then give us spark. If we have spark, then we can jerry rig up a fuel system and we can see if this car ever wants to run, which would be awesome. What am I going to use it for? Well, actually I have no idea, because it can't be registered because there's rust all through the firewall, rust through the doors. But hey, it's a challenge to see if we can get it going again, and we're so close. So we could work on that this week. We could pull that apart this week. That has to go to its new home, to Michael down just south of Perth. He was the lucky winner of the Tirana, going to be rebuilding it in honour of his mate who unfortunately took his life earlier this year. Absolutely chuffed to be able to give that one away. I can't wait to see the progress that Michael does. He's built cars before, so he knows what he's in for and knows what he's doing pretty much, so that will be cool. But that's, yeah, we take that down to Perth in about 2 weeks time, I think. And then over here we have the BA Fairmont, which donated its engine and transmission to the Crusader. And again, this thing's going to be stripped down for parts. So if there's any parts that you need that doesn't include anything to do with the engine management or transmission, hit me up on private message and we'll see if we can work something out. I just want parts gone, and they're going to be used to go towards someone else's car as opposed to being thrown in the dump. That would be awesome. So I mean, you're not getting it for free, but cheap is cheap. Anyway, so we could be working on this week as well, because we need to grab the whole shifter mechanism to be put in the Crusader. We have to grab the accelerator pedal because it's obviously fly-by-wire. We need to grab the OBD2 port, wherever that is in there. So all this wiring, all that's got to come out to run the engine in the Crusader. So we could be doing that. That's probably what I want to do first, because this car is the easiest to get rid of. Once I've stripped it down for all its good parts, taken what I need, then we can take it off to the dump, and then it can be pillaged for more parts out there from other people, which is cool. That's everything we've got going on in this yard. Now there's another yard I have cars everywhere all over this town, it's hilarious. Sorry mum and dad, it's all on their land. Yeah, so we'll go to the other yard now where Stalin is, and we'll give you an update on him because we gave him an absolute hell of a beating in the last video, which hopefully you've checked that out. That was a lot of fun doing that, but we'll talk more when we get there. Let's go. I love this thing. It's just awesome. Unfortunately, it just kind of hit the wrong time, this vehicle, with coronavirus, my operation, my crook back, dad's problems, and it's just sat here for a good, well, pretty much all of this year. And we've got to rebuild the fuel system. The fuel tank's ready to go back in. We found some little clips to hold the wires and plugs into the fuel pump, which was really hard to find apparently. Yeah, but we got to put all that back in, but it's just been sitting here. We just haven't been well enough to actually work on the poor thing. But never fear, there is a whole episode coming on this thing that has been months and months in the making, and we'll release that eventually once we get that fuel tank in. So yes, we still have the ambulance, yes, we still will use it for variety bash. Yeah, it's just a matter of when we can get around to it, unfortunately. Right, Stalin. Stalin, as you guys hopefully saw in the last episode, we gave this thing crap. It was a lot of fun actually. I honestly thought it was going to die out there. I didn't think that it would handle the stress of popping the tires and going around the racetrack in the what was it, about low 30-degree heat outside. So it was a bit of a tall order, but he performed flawlessly. Didn't overheat at all, obviously except when we're doing the burnout. But yeah, he's an absolute trooper, and drove it home all the way from the racetrack back to its location here on the pop tire at just 40-50 k's an hour, and it's sweet as. So you will have noticed in the last episode too that half the stuff I was meant to install I never did, so we've still got power steering pump to fix, we've got more tyres to chuck on the rear end, we've got an exhaust gasket that needs to go in, and an oil change and other bits like that. But honestly, I did not think it was going to survive the that outing at the track, which it did flawlessly. So yeah, he might be sticking around a little bit longer. Right, so now it's a case of trying to figure out what our main goal for this week is going to be, and I think it's going to have to be the BA Fairmonts. We've got to pull what I need out of it to go into Crusader, and then I can get rid of that vehicle, and then that is a project car gone. I really do want to get back down to my daily driver and maybe 2 project cars, which would be the Crusader and something else that could be a bit of fun as well. So yeah, let's grab some tools and then we'll head back up to the Fairmont and we'll start pulling out all that wiring under the dash. Alright, welcome to day 2 of our Get Stuff Done week, and we are down here now at the BA Fairmont, and we're going to start pulling out our accelerator pedal, our shifter, and anything else that we might need from this vehicle, and then we can start stripping off any other good parts, store them, get rid of the shell. So let's get cracking into this. Alrighty, so after a whole bunch of fluffing about, you saw over the shifter there, can't quite get that out so I can jack the car up as it's bolted from underneath in the trans tunnel. I don't have my jack here with me at the moment, but I've been playing around with all the wiring and the accelerator pedal, and now this should come out. There we go. It was just a bit jammed up there. That's what we want. Whew. Well, actually, man, that's massive. Bit of kit. Okay, I'm looking at this and what we might do for our application is trim this down through here. On that, so I see that ridging in there, we'll go a cut on that side of ridging, pull the brake pedal out, and hopefully we can fit that in. Now, the gear has a funky option where you can adjust the accelerator and brake pedal to move in and out. Okay, so we'll clean up, put our tools back in our bag here, and then all I need from this car now is that switch. I might take that switch actually, because then we can use it to for the pedals. That's cool. So I've got the wiring harness for the switch that adjusts the foot pedal height. I'm going to try and incorporate that into our Crusader, because that's going to be freaking hilarious. It also means when we're mounting up the pedal into the Crusader, we don't have to worry too much about the height difference between the factory brake pedal and where the accelerator pedal for the Fairmont's going to go, because we'll have adjustment. I reckon that's pretty funky. That won't be too hard to wire up either, which is awesome. Okay, I think that's all I need from in here. Put the key back, makes all the difference apparently. That, just need the shifter, shifter cable, and that's it. I think that's all we need from the Fairmont. So, that's the end of day 2. Let's move on to the next vehicle. Alright, good morning everybody, and welcome to day 3 of our video. And last night I got a little bit carried away in the shed and did a few jobs around the Crusader. So let me show you what we have done. So the first thing I noticed here is that the driver's side seat is out and on the floor. We'll have a look at that soon. And then our little pedal box that we pulled out of the Fairmont yesterday has been stripped of the brake pedal. And what we're going to do is cut it right down here. And then that way we'll keep this bracing, and we'll try sit that into a position in the Crusader where it can be used. And then that way too we get to keep the pedal adjustment, which would be really kind of cool. Yeah, and we've got our wiring that we need to go with it. So that's that. Now in the actual car itself, open our door, and there's a nice big gaping hole where the seat used to be. Now obviously you'll always find stuff under seats, and they're giving us a bit of a clue as to how long the car's been sitting for. Now a lot of these coins are 1 and 2 cent coins, but there's one of them, I think it says 20 cent piece, yep, is a 1997. So we can tell that this car was used up until then, at least, probably a little bit afterwards. So that is the newest coin I have found so far, which gives us a good indication as to how long the car's been sitting for. And also a Movie Land little key thingy-mabobby, which is kind of cool. They no longer exist. I don't think any kind of Blockbuster or Video Easy exists anymore. So today, what do we plan to do today? Okay, so today should be the biggest day because I've got most of the day off before I have to go to work. So I'm hoping to start with a few easy jobs. We'll get those trim pieces and the power window working in the Camry first, and then we will go out bush hopefully and find the new seats that will be replacing the factory Crusader ones, and then we'll see how time goes from there, and as to what we get to afterwards. So first things first, let's get into the trim pieces of that Camry. Okay, so today hasn't quite gone according to plan. And the main culprit is that the Australian plug doesn't go into the Japanese switch. Now at the moment it's currently plugged into the Australian switch, and it does work. So I know it's only a small thing like power windows, but I'm very excited because that loom that you can see there works absolutely perfectly. So thank you again to Graham from XA Keep Guy to go into the local wreckers and finding that, because getting it here in Western Australia is a lot harder, mainly because of my location. So he was kind enough to go grab it out of the yard and actually send it to me, which a lot of wreckers won't do without charging you for an absolute fortune for it. So thanks again, Graham, I appreciate that. The door will probably sit like this for a while now until I work on the Japanese switch. We've been able to make the Australian plug fit into the Japanese switch, but the Japanese switch is stuck in the down position, so it's always trying to wind the window down, so I'm going to have to play with that a little bit. And unfortunately, day 3's over. I know all we've done is put in the wiring loom and put some trim on there, but I also had to build this fence at the front of our property, so that took up a lot of today in the heat. So that's all for day 3. Let's carry on to day 4 and hopefully we'll have better success there. Okay, day 4 of our little adventure in the bush for the week. Today we are going to get a bit more done because yesterday I felt was a bit of a failure car wise, but absolutely fantastic building the fence at the front of my property there, so that's kind of where most of my day ended up. We've had goodies arrive, so I'll show you those in a second. We'll do a little bit of work on the Crusader. We'll pull the passenger side seat out, clean that all up so that tomorrow we can go bush hunting and find the new seats to replace it with. Yeah, so let's show you the goodies that arrived for the Sylvia. So in my tower of bits and pieces that have arrived, well some have arrived, some have been here for a while, that's part of a L67 supercharger, which I don't have at the moment, but these is what we're after. So these are the new top hats to go onto the front shocks. Come on, out you come. There we go, nice and shiny. The rubber's all complete, so I would like to get these on tonight. So yeah, just because then I can actually move the Sylvia and get it out of its little resting spot, and we might even go for a bit of a cheeky drive in Mexico this afternoon. So let's have a crack at the Crusader first. I want to get that seat out, clean up the interior, and then we'll move further back, just behind it is the Sylvia. Alright, let's get cracking. There we are, seats are now ripped out to give us plenty of room to work in, and as you will have seen, we chopped up the pedal box assembly to house just what we need, which is the accelerator pedal and the mechanism to make it move in and out. So now with that looking all nice and tidy, like it looks like a factory option, this thing, that should fit up into here, right, pretty tall, somewhere around there, so that fits nicely. The pedals are a bit awkwardly spaced, so we've got to do a bit of maneuvering around to find out where we'll actually mount it up, but because we have that adjustment for the pedal to come in and out, it's going to work quite well. So I'll figure out some way of bolting that in securely, because all the actual bracketry for it when I was in the Fairmont was all on the brake pedal side over here. It was held in by the 4 bolts of the booster and a couple of bolts up the top, sorry, up here, but all that's been trimmed off and now it's looking nice and compact. Yes, so interior is nice and tidy. Thank you very much to my son for helping out with that one. And so when it comes to the seat, the plan is pretty simple. These are a really basic construction and they're just some rails, and the seats literally just bolts on with 4 bolts. So we can unbolt these rails and then mount our new racing, I call them racing seats, sports seats, to the factory rails, and that's going to work really well. So before I take these off though, I need to measure the distances of everything so that when they go onto the new seats, they will end up back into the same location. Okay, so I was hoping to actually get out bushed today as well to go and find the seats I'm talking about. I believe they are in a NC Fairlane, 91, 92 model, and from what I can work out, the seats themselves are actually quite rare. You look back to some of my earlier bush wreck hunting videos, and I do show the Fairlane on screen, and you'll be able to see the seats that I'm talking about. Unfortunately today I don't have enough time, but that's what this video has all been about, is pretty much come along with me for the week and see what I can do within the time constraints that I have. So I don't know, we've found some good things that have been done and others that unfortunately will just roll over into next week. We didn't get anywhere near the Sylvia. We didn't get the Camry completely finished off yet. I've got to figure out why the switch isn't going up and down. But we have pulled all the parts out of the Fairmont, so that is a huge win. That means now I can take that car to the dump and get rid of it, no longer need it. other people can take what bits and pieces they need from it. Now, I know this is a lot of talking, but this is a part of the video that I really need to explain to you guys, and if you've watched this far along, you're a pretty dedicated viewer, so I appreciate the hell out of you guys and girls, and thank you very much for watching my channel and making it grow as much as it has recently. In saying that, I unfortunately have some not so good news. I will not be making any more videos for a while now. The reason being is that we are currently renovating some units for some elderly ladies in town who are the victims of some pretty bad elderly abuse, both financially, physically and mentally. It's absolutely atrocious what some of these people are doing in town. So to help them get into a better position, we are renovating a block of units, and that way they have a gated, safe community where they can actually get some sleep. Yeah, that's pretty much how bad it is. These old ladies, yeah. Anyway, they're very good friends of mine, and we really want to see them in a nice, safe, secure location. And to do that, I need the time that I normally do all this filming and running around in the bush to actually finish getting these units done. The sooner we get them done, the sooner they're in, and the less likely we are to end up at a funeral. Yeah, it's really bad. So, thank you very much for your support. Please hang around, please stay subscribed to the channel. I will be coming back with more videos. I've just had some absolutely fantastic news today, which allows me to go and film a lot more around my area, but I'll tell you that when I get back into filming. Really cool. I know I keep saying it, but we still have some revivals to be done. As you saw with this video, trying to fit it into the week can be a bit difficult sometimes. You really need a whole day to be able to do it, and that gets a bit hard to find a whole day. So anyway, carry on. I'm going to keep rambling too much. Thank you very much for your support. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned. Keep an eye on my Facebook page, Automotive Carnage. Keep an eye on the YouTube channel, definitely. And as soon as I come back to making videos, I will let you all know with a bang. We want to come back strong. So, thank you very much, everyone. We'll see you on the next video.